We're talking with Coach Ethen Atchley.
Yeah. So how's it feel being down here, Coach?
Yeah,
It's
here.
not bad.
Here,
Not
we'll
bad?
Flip, we'll flip it around.
We'll take Western Kentucky, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been good. It's a lot of chaos right now with talk and conversation of the district merging. So sometimes we're in one meeting where we're talking about what's going on for this next school year, and then the next year we're talking about what happens in 2026.
Yeah.
And, the Christian County Tigers, but the place has been welcoming, and every place I've been has been good. So.
That's pretty interesting. Christian County Tigers. I like that. Still paying kind of a little bit of homage.
You know, it's kind of crazy because we walk through the locker rooms and stuff. You know what I mean? Talk about that a little bit. Have you ever been in that situation?
No, I haven't. I remember I called Clay Clevenger just in the unique scenario because there's not a lot of places that have even a stadium like off campus.
Right.
So on Friday after school, what do you do? Do we want to go do some warm up at our practice field at school, and then do we eat over there? Do we eat over here's a cafeteria and like the alternative school? It's attached. It's a unique scenario. I just knew Danville had a school and then they had their field separate. So what time? What did pregame look like? Did you do Thursday walkthrough on the game field? It's another. It is in some realm it's minor, but in the same token, you're. Some days I miss the. Okay, we're going to go be on a practice field Monday through Wednesday. We're going to go to the game field on Thursday, and the kids lock in a little better. I really believe that.
For sure.
And then can you figure out every other week with another school that's in town? So in the future, obviously, that'll be nice to get it all over here. The stadium is, 12 minutes from the high school, from our school. The new school, it'll be a couple minutes, so that'll be, advantageous. But it's just. It's just what every place has its challenges, pros, cons, weaknesses, strengths, and so that's the scenario here.
And the uniqueness.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the unique. That's cool.
I say Central and Manual are the only two in Louisville
there you go,
that have to have it off campus.
So
definitely having it off campus for both schools. Locker room, painted one color on each side. It's kind of unique.
I mean, the one thing I would say about the uniqueness of having two lockers is that we always at least just go into what is Christian County color locker room, and the away team goes into Hoptown, and obviously vice versa. But,
now, when you all are making schedules, and I don't know how. I know you've been moving around a little bit. I don't know how long you've been here.
Yeah.
But when you're making schedules, do you have to be conscious of what Hopkinsville's doing?
That's right. So we've been in concert having conversation about who's playing at home, who's not. I called one of the old retired Dayton Dunbar coaches up at Dayton. I'm originally being from Cleveland, Ohio. I knew that Dayton had like one city school district field stadium, and I think I don't know how many Dayton got, but I know they all share that one facility.
I just know I know Clarksville does a lot of spacing. I don't want anybody getting run over here. That's another unique challenge of or a uniqueness of the setup. But none of that is really that big. I just had said I brought Bullet East down here to play in this tournament, like 2020, 2021. I forget what year it was. We played Hoptown in the stadium. We played Macon County, Tennessee. I brought him down here because I knew Bowling Green was going to it, and we had to play Mayo in the district. Yeah.
And there was a lot of Gibson Southern, I think, was here from Indiana. So you had some really good competition, and I wanted to kind of get out of that Louisville bubble. I wanted to not go to Lexington and just play Lexington schools. I want to say we're going to go somewhere where these kids have no idea where they're at, who they're playing. And
it's kind of what we were talking about. You got teams from Indiana, Tennessee, all over the place.
And so fortunately here, it's been really good. The competition that has always been put on. I think Coach Clark, Coach Lopez, they started this here years ago, and maybe Coach Clayton. One of those three kind of had the idea, and it's been a pretty good deal over the years for them.
Heck yeah! Well, my last question for you. How do you now that we're through dead period, how'd your spring go? How are you feeling about this upcoming season and what you got going on at Christian County?
I feel good. We've got a senior to be quarterback that started a little bit with us last year, Tom Johnson. That's he's as good as anybody I've had. Really outside of probably Travis Egan.
Stud, dog.
Yeah. He was pretty good. He could sling it a little bit, but it's. And then we got some young kids that are super talented that just need to grow up. But like that Travis Egan, Cameron Brogan, that group that won state that senior year for that, like
you've got some really core talented kids at LCA. When I was there, we had 2 middle school teams win state titles, and the talent that were in those 8th grade to be 9th grade classes, some of those kids donned, playing time early. We'll have some of those freshmen that they're just that talented. They'll play early, and luckily, we play some tune-up games, so to speak, before we really played 3 games in the district. And so, that matters for playoff implications. But, we'll be young in some spots. But the good news is, really comparatively to last year's group, they've been sponges. They've tried to soak it in, done a great job in the spring, learning what we do. We're way more inexperienced right now than we were last year playing in this tournament, and we've competed a lot better. We really competed in one game last year, I thought, in 7-on-7 against Kenwood, and in other games we just kind of laid down. And this year, the kids they played throughout. So
let's
that's
go, baby.
Let's
go.
man.
So,
Hey, appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Appreciate your time.
Hey, this ain't. I mean, we're live, but this is off the record.
Okay.
Where do we go for lunch? Coach
man.
Lopez mentioned the taco spot.
The taco spot is good. I'm trying to think, I will tell you, obviously, I didn't get up at my in-laws live in Georgetown, so I've probably worn the crap out of Chipotle.
Okay.
But you all have that in Louisville.
Yeah,
too.
we do.
I wanna
We
go
do.
somewhere local.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I will tell you that having the Chipotle in this town, I don't have one in Georgetown when I go visit the in-laws, and I didn't have one in Mount Washington, so it was something that I wasn't driving into Louisville to go get.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't drive in Fern Creek.
Not
After those names you mentioned.
That's
Jack, on it.
Have
a good one, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Good to
you,
see you,
man.
Coach Atchley. Appreciate you, buddy.
You got it. Let's go.